Well, good morning, Card My Yard folks. I am so excited to talk about today's subject, which is going to be boosting a post. Now, as you probably remember on our last training, which was in February, we talked about promoting your page. And we also discussed the idea that we want to get our page to 1,000 likes so that we can get found in the Google search system and help with our SEO rankings. So once we have attained that, we're on the precursor that we have already attained that 1,000 page likes, and we are going on to boost a post. Now, boosting a post is what we spoke about in terms of you're not able to change the content. This is already posted content that you have organically made that you are going to boost. Now, in order for you to boost a post, it does have to be something that you originated. You cannot boost a share. Oftentimes, videos that you've shared, if they're over a certain length, or if they are originated by a different source that is privacy protected, you cannot boost those. So look back over here to the screen if you don't mind, and we're going to go through. I'm actually on the Card My Yard page so that we can go through some of the things that you might see here on just if this were one of your pages or your page. And scrolling through here, you will see all of the page posts that were made. And what you might see on some of these is, as you can see, this is a share. Okay, so they shared a post, and as you can see right here, it says boost unavailable. Okay, shared posts can't be boosted. So just think about the content that you are going to be boosting. This here is a post, of course, that was originated by Card My Yard, and it can be boosted. Now, what you want to look at here are the already organic reach and the engagement. Now, when I'm consulting people, I tell them do not boost a post until you have let it go organic for at least 24 hours. Meaning, I don't want to post something and then just hit the blue boost post button right away. I want to let that guy sit. I want to let it get as many likes, as many as many shares, as many comments, maybe people that might want to tag someone in the comments. As many organic actions and engagements that can happen on that post, I want to let happen before I hit the boost post button. Because what that does is once I have already obtained all those organic things and I hit boost post, I'm only increasing my exposure because all those additional people who have already shared it, engaged with it, etc., are going to be included in my boosted post, okay? So we're going to run through a post that we are going to boost here, and I'm going to talk you through some of the things that you might see in the back of the engine. Now, as we spoke about on the last training, there are 3 different types of paid engagement, or what I would consider paid advertisements on Facebook. The first is a paid ad, which is something that I'm going to originate my own content. Now, it might be something that I've already done, or it might be an actual graphic that I pull in. Maybe it's something that I add some different text to, I add different elements. Maybe I want a slideshow. Those things are considered an ad or a paid ad because you are originating the content. You can change the content. It is not something that's static. Now, with a boosted post, which is the second type of paid promotion, I cannot change the content. Once I click on it, it is going to be what it is other than some of the elements that Facebook gives me, like animating it, adding a button to it. But the post itself and the content shown in the post is going to remain the same. The third type is a page promotion, which is what we talked about last training series. And that is where I'm going to boost basically my page. I'm going to promote my page to a certain audience that I have pre-selected that is already not already seeing my page, but I want them to see my page. I'm attempting to promote my page to additional audience viewers. Okay, so we're going to do this boosted post. I'm going to click on boost post, and as you might have remembered from last training, the engine looks the same. Okay, I'm going to minimize myself up here in the corner so that you guys can see more things here on this actual post. Now, on this boosted post, like I said, you have the option to animate it. What that means, guys, is that you are going to, let me make myself a little smaller, I apologize, move myself over here. You are going to have the ability to animate this post. Meaning, if I click on animate post, it's going to give me all different types of things that I can do to it, okay? The only thing that I will warn you and caution you on animating posts is that if somebody is not looking at a device when they have Wi-Fi or they're not in a good service area, it's going to, just like whenever you open a graphic that's very large and has to develop first, or you open an email and you have to download the photos. I always recommend on Facebook ads that you try and stay as bland as possible. A good image, yes, absolutely. But any type of animation, any type of moving photos, slideshow, anything like that is going to complicate it from the end of, one, does my viewer understand that this is an animated post? Two, are they in a good service area to where they can actually receive those images and see the animation? And three, just remember, guys, we still have some people who are not on what we consider a fully mobile-friendly device. So maybe some of our older audience that's not on a device that's able to see all of these different types of images, okay? So I don't recommend this. I'm going to go back, actually, and not animate the post. This is a great photo, super, super cute, something that would grab our attention, of course. Well-placed logo here in the background, silent solicitation. And what I recommend on them is that if, depending on the boosted post and what your goal is, remember, we always have to have a goal before we start. Whatever your goal might be, you might want to include a button here, okay? Now, when you include a button, you have all these options, as you can see. Book now. That would be something where you could push them to your website because it does allow you to put a button on there. That goes directly to your website. Shop now. That's a great one for you guys. If you're doing something that's maybe targeted to upcoming graduations, maybe a birthday type of incentive. If you do shop now, that's going to take them on a direct link back to your website where you could actually put in a unique URL to whatever page you're trying to sell, okay? If you do not select a button, you can still run through. It's going to run you through this exact same engine, okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to go through this targeting. And we talked about this a little bit last time, but it's even more important on a boosted post that you target an audience that might be looking at the message that you want to portray, okay? So here, maybe we're going to go in and we're going to change this to 15 because of the fact that we know graduations are coming up, right? A younger brother or sister might see this. I don't recommend putting in a huge area like Texas. What that does is it's a shotgun approach instead of a sniper, okay? We want as small of geographic areas as possible. Remember, boosted post, paid ads, and page promotions are all what we consider consumption advertising, meaning whatever is consumed by the other end of a computer, i.e. An impression, is going to cost you. So you want to get your impression as targeted as possible so that it's not just sending impressions to people who might not be interested in buying. So I'm going to take Texas off of here. Of course, it's going to tell me you must enter an area. Let's just pretend that since Card My Yard is based out of Austin/Georgetown area, let's go in here and start adding in some smaller cities, okay? That might keep our radius down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put in Georgetown. I'm going to put in Salado. I know that's close to Georgetown here. Let's put in Pflugerville maybe as an additional area. I wouldn't recommend Austin because that's too large, I feel like, of a municipality. Let's put in Round Rock. Let's put in Hutto. So as you can see, I'm looking at smaller locations. Now I'm super saturated in this area, okay? Depending upon, of course, wherever your franchise is, I recommend doing things in that general service area. Most of the time, people from a widely different area for y'all's product is not going to be looking at buying something outside of that area when it comes to buying, of course, signs in their front yard. So here under detailed targeting, this is the most important part of your purchase or your buy here. You want to try and get your, again, your shotgun down to the smallest bullet possible, the smallest sniper hole. So here we are going to put in things like maybe birthday. Birthday in. Now, might this not be helpful if we are looking at doing a birthday one? Say we want to combine a graduation one with a birthday one, double the exposure, right? So maybe I say birthday in March and graduation. You can go in here, guys, and what I want to show you is, let's say March, just for the basis of doing this, okay? Birthday in March, let's put in graduation. And the things here that you see off to the side are going to be the different levels, okay? So you have everything from project graduation to graduate school, graduation as an interest, graduation as a job title, meaning they might be someone who sells yearbooks, something like that, fields of study. Now, what's important here is that when you go in, you can see, of course, looking at this, I can see what size of demographic that is. And maybe I select graduation as an interest. And I put high school graduate in here. This is all news to me. High school grad. This little engine sometimes doesn't like me, and you have to type it in a few more times. So here I'm going to put in high school grad. And maybe even high school would be a good one. High school graduation. Oops. High school grad as an education level. Now, because people go, well, I don't really even know what might be another thing that I can do. Once you put in a couple of these characteristics, or what I consider second level targeting, you can go in here and hit suggestions. And it's going to bring up all these really cool things, like parents with teenagers. Awesome. That might be someone I want to target, of course, right? Close friends. Look in here, guys, and think about all of the things that you might be able to do with this suggestion. Look at all of these things. Close friends of people with a birthday. Those might be somebody who would book, of course, a Card My Yard, right, service. New parents, birthdays in April. Maybe we want to go another month out and make sure that we're catching those people. Students, close friends of women with a birthday in 0 to 7 days. Anybody, now, there is no way in the world that you could go through and find all of the different things that Facebook allows you to target by. There are just too many of them. There are millions of targets here under the detailed targeting. So what I recommend to people, go in and type in a couple of the things that you think might be the buyer public that you're looking to attract. Then hit the suggestions button. The suggestions button will save your life when it comes to other things that you might want to do. If you click on browse here and you go through these 100 million categories, you will be searching for days trying to find the right things, okay? So go ahead and put in a couple things, preteens, and you can find additional things then, of course, based on the things that you have already selected, okay? So once you narrow your audience there, you're gonna say save, that is my audience. And then what I recommend, guys, is before you do this, so this is what really aggravates people. They go, okay, I want to use that same audience. Now, it is going to work for you here as long as you are not managing multiple pages and you have different audiences. But what you can do in advance of clicking this edit button is you can go in here and say create new audience, and it will allow you to go through what we just went through. And what we'll want to do here is maybe we say, Card My Yard graduation birthday. Now, what it's going to do then is it's going to save all of these as a segment, okay, as an audience. Now, if I choose to do a different targeted audience, I can do as many as I want here, guys. I do not always try and get more people with your boosted post, not somebody who is already seeing your page, okay? So there's people who like my page and people who like your page and their friends, that's kind of null and void, right? Because we know that people are going to refer and or see things that are already in their newsfeed. So we want to attract a new audience of people that aren't already seeing things in their newsfeed, which is why I always say select a detailed target or a target audience here, okay? You want this automatic placements on. Of course, that's recommended, but what that does is that helps with the delivery system of your ad. And then again here, just like we did, remember, this engine is going to look the same. This is why it's confusing to people. They say, well, I spent about $100. And we say, well, what did you do with your $100? Did you buy a paid ad, a boosted post, or a page promotion? And they're really uncertain because they don't know which one they purchased, okay? It's all based on the type of advertising that you're doing. But as you can see, just like with our page promotion, this looks the same, right? It looks the same on the back end. So you're going to do the same thing here as far as choosing your days. Now, based on what your promotion is or your boosted post is promoting, you need to select the days that apply. Here's a tactic. If it is something where you could offer that same discount or that same price or that same service past what you consider the expiration date in order to increase urgency, I always recommend that you run your promotion. If it's set to end on the 15th, run it through the 16th. And on the actual post, you put something to the effect of ends March 15th, and you run it through the 16th. Because what you're going to get is on the 15th, Facebook is going to hurry to try and deliver that ad to as many people as it can, because it wants to charge you, right? It wants all the money it can get. It's going to hurry to try and deliver that ad to as many people as possible by the 15th. So what you'll see is starting on like the 13th, you'll start seeing an increased exposure. You'll start seeing more people have liked your boosted post. All of a sudden you start getting all this traction. Well, then it ends on the 15th. And what happens if we get people who see it after the 15th? We want them to come back and say, hey, I saw that it already expired, but I'd love to book my services with the price that you had on the 15th. If we get that many more customers, chances are we're probably going to extend that, right? And chances are, if it's the same as what I've done with all of my clients, it really wasn't set to expire on the 15th. It was just a boosted post or a promotion that we wanted people to see, and we could still extend that price through the 30th, or maybe even a couple more days, okay? So it's super important that you leave a little bit of a buffer room. Give them something to create the urgency where they go, oh man, I missed it. It's just like an open house or a listing for my realtor clients. I say leave it open, because if you didn't sell the house that weekend, which most of them don't sell on the first open house, if they do, great. But if it didn't sell that weekend and somebody sees your boosted listing or your boosted open house event on the Sunday after, we want that person to contact you and say, oh my goodness, I missed the open house. Can I still see the house? I would love to get a private showing, okay? So that built-in urgency, always run it for a couple days past. Again, here it's going to show you how much you're going to spend per day and then what your total budget is. Again, your total budget is here. So if you only want to spend $20, you need to put that in and work backwards, again, like we talked about last time. And then here, your payment method. Of course, you can change it. You can add in a credit card. You can do different payments each time. Just know that it's going to default to whatever you set as your default payment type, okay? I'm going to cancel this just so that I don't boost something that I'm not supposed to here. But I do want to show you guys, after I cancel this, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I think are super important as far as making sure that you keep up with your boosted posts, okay? And I know that in a prior training, we talked about getting the most out of your dollar, right? And we'll continue to talk about that throughout all of the trainings, because that is the most important thing, is that we are getting you the most money out of your dollar when it comes to any type of ad, any type of paid promotion, or even any type of organic something. We want to get the most exposure possible. So I'm going to jump into one of my accounts here that has done a boosted post, okay? Just recently, this is a fishing company, I would say like a charter company out of Port O'Connor, and we just did a boosted post for them. And we spent, or actually we budgeted for $250, and we're running the promotion for 30 days, okay, which is a pretty big amount. That's a lot of money to spend for just one boosted post. Now, what I did was I went in and I made a graphic, and what you'll see in the notifications here, probably, for this page, is that, let me move myself back up, is that people have, as you can see right here, it says people have liked, this is my boosted post right here, this is my graphic that I did and I boosted, and it says something to the effect of, they have reacted to your photo. Help them see future posts by inviting them to like your page. Remember, we talked about this in managing notifications. So if I spend $20, I want to get the most possible out of my $20. Meaning, if I truly manage my notifications and I go back in and I notice that all of these people who have liked my boosted post may have not also liked my page, what I can do is I can go in here, again, boosted post, right? And in here, I'm going to click on these 98 people that have liked this boosted post, and most of them have liked our page as well, okay? Meaning great. They might have gone in and seen the boosted post and gone and liked the page. But there are some people who have not. See this open entry to invite these people? This is what Facebook is telling me. Facebook's saying, because you paid to have additional eyes on your boosted post, we have delivered your boosted post to those additional eyes. But those additional eyes have not also liked your page. So what you need to go and do is manage your notifications for sure every day, right? And go in here and invite these people to like your page, okay? All of these extra people, because this is free likes, guys. This is the only way that I can get additional people who have not already liked my page to get invited to like my page without doing a page promotion. So technically, a boosted post can be a boosted post and a page promotion if we go in and manage our notifications correctly. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're going to invite all of these people. Now, of course, if they've already been invited, we can't re-invite them. But we do want to manage our notifications to go in here and invite all of these people who have not yet liked our page to go in. Even though they've liked this boosted post, we want them to go in. Now, here's a couple of tips on boosted posts. I do always recommend that if you are going to post something, now remember, a boosted post, you can't change the content. So it needs to be something that you like already there on your page, or that you're creating with the thought that I'm going to create this and then I'm going to boost it, okay? So I have created this. I made it very clear as to what this was. I put a logo here as far as the actual entity itself, which matches the logo in our profile picture here, and then did a call to action. Come fish with us, okay? Now, in the post itself, let me move this. In the post itself, very clear. Now, there is a lot of text in this post. This would not be my recommendation, but this is my client, and they wanted to make it as clear as possible as far as what's included in the package and what the pricing is. I don't recommend this much text, guys, in the post. I try to make it as pretty and as broken up as possible by using some emojis here to break up the pricing and the information. I always recommend you just send people directly to your website with a very quick call to action, very little text. You want to try and get them to either your website or your Facebook page as quickly as possible to find out the information. Now, always send them to a page that is going to give them the most information that they need in one area. Okay, people are lazy. They are not going to click on multiple places to get the information they need. So you want to send them to the place, the one place that has the most information. Usually that is your website, okay? Now, if your Facebook page does have something like all of your shop is filled out with your services and the pricing for those things, send them back to your Facebook page. Say, visit our Facebook page to see full details. Click on the shop element on our Facebook page to see full details. Whatever you do, you always want there to be a call to action here, okay? This call to action, of course, is come fish with us, book now, book your services now, shop now, book before we're sold out, we're selling out soon, shop now. Any of those type of calls to action are always good to increase the urgency on a boosted post or a paid promotion, okay? I think that about covers it for a boosted post. Always remember, guys, let that post go organic and let it gain some traction before you go in and boost it. Recommendation, 24 hours. If you post it on, say today, this is Tuesday, say we post it Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and we let it go organically until Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Wednesday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to jump on, I'm going to see what's happened, I'm going to answer any comments, I'm going to like people's comments, I'm going to respond, I'm going to do as much as I can organically with the post before I hit that boost post button. Then I know that anything that I've already done organically is just going to be compounded by the fact that I'm going to boost that then. What also might give you some additional clues as to what types of people are interacting with that post is by letting it go organic, I can see who's interacted. Maybe I see that all of my mom friends have interacted. When I go in and pick those detailed targets, I need to add those type of people into my detailed targeting. Maybe it's moms, maybe it's women, maybe it's, as you can see in the detailed targeting, there are a lot of things I can be very specific on. Again, remember, use that suggestions blue button there so that saves you time and energy on what the suggested additional detailed targeting can be. And then remember, on boosted post page promotions and any type of paid ads, try and be as specific as possible with areas, okay? If you can drill it down to a neighborhood or a community, even better than just a city, okay? Sometimes those things do not show up. You'll just have to play with it. But definitely don't do Austin. Don't do large geographic areas. Take that Texas out of there. We don't want it delivered to all of Texas. We just want it delivered to our specific geographic radius that is close to where we might be in the service area of, okay? Look forward to talking to you guys next time for our next training. It will be again in March. We are every other week, don't forget. If you have additional questions, make sure that you guys send those in to Amy and Jessica, and your franchise owners. They are here to help you. And even more so, if there's a question that you ask of them and they don't know the correct answer to it, or they need additional exposure on some type of training in the future, they're going to relay that question back to me, and we'll either talk about it on our next training, or I'm happy to coordinate those answers through Amy and Jessica, or in an open forum to you guys on your Facebook group. Okay, so look forward to seeing you next time. Make sure that you're doing that follow-up. Make sure you're managing those notifications and clicking those invite buttons. Okay, get you the most money out of your pie. I'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.